Dear pro-Palestinian activists, this is a message for you. I know your intentions are good, and your heart is in a good place. You see a group of people suffering and you want to help, you want to show your support. Nobody with a modern, Western, moral mentality wants to see civilians suffer or die. Where we don't agree is who to blame, who has a responsibility. There are obviously two sides here trying to defend their actions and justify their means. Because if Hamas's attack would have concluded after attacking the military bases, as much as it horrifies me for my brothers and sisters, I'd still say it's fair game in conflict. Army versus army, soldier versus soldier. Even if there were civilian casualties as a collateral for the military attack, or even for surrounding civilian areas for control, as horrifying as it is, I'd say it's still fair game in war. But after the military bases, they went into the cities and towns, thousands of them, prepared and planned. But the first-hand massacre of civilians, the murdering, the butchering, the kidnapping, the raping, the decapitating, all these words that are thrown around so much they're starting to lose their meaning. Mass murder in a music festival? Does that still aid the well-being of the Palestinian people? Doesn't that make you question their intentions? Even if the thousands of Palestinian people in Hebron, in Gaza, in Nablus, in Jenin went out to celebrate, to dance, to distribute sweets, moments after watching the massacre, doesn't that make you question their intentions even a little bit? After all these media companies rushed to publish articles blaming Israel for the bombing of the Al-Hali hospital, holding that position for days, even with all of the evidence coming out, and even after realizing it wasn't Israel but the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, they didn't retract or apologize. Doesn't that make you raise an eyebrow at your trusted sources? I mean, it seems like they didn't even check their sources. The Beirut explosion that flattened half a city killed 218 people, and a parking lot explosion killed 500? How can they count 500 bodies in less than an hour? After Hamas released so much footage from the body cams and their phones, and then said they never targeted civilians.
We didn't kill any civilian.
What about the 260 bodies at the music festival?
I cannot confirm this Israeli propaganda.
Doesn't that make you question their word even a little bit? I know this can easily stem into history and politics, so I intentionally only talked about things that happened these past few weeks and only used things filmed not by the Israeli media so we can have some common ground. I believe it's great to go out and demonstrate for the safety of the Palestinian people. But if in your demonstration you have signs like these, taking down signs of kidnapped women and children, doesn't that make you question the integrity of your group? These are pictures of kidnapped women and children. Taking them down is not recognizing the suffering of innocents. Do you stand with that too? If your demonstration has swastikas and chants like "Gas the Jews," is that still a demonstration for the safety of the Palestinian people? Or is that calling for the extermination of the Jewish people? Is that still human-loving behavior? Free Palestine in itself is not an aggressive slogan, but from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Free from what? From Israelis? Because I'm guessing they're not referring to the Christian Arabs that identify as Israeli, or the Bedouins or the Druze that identify as Israelis. So free from what? Free from Jews? Because this isn't about the West Bank or the 1967 occupied territories. This is about everything, even the not occupied, from the river to the sea. If you do wish to erase all Israelis and or Jews from the land, doesn't that make you question your humanitarian intentions? Chants of intifada in the demonstrations are chants of violence. The Palestinian intifadas were a sequence of suicide bombings, run-over attacks, shootings and stabbings, among other things, done to civilians by civilians. Is that pro-Palestinian or is it anti-Israelis? Is it pro-life? Is it really your intentions? Because let's be honest now, if you were silent during Hamas's massacre, asked for a ceasefire only after Israel's attack, and ignored the kidnapped, if you deny Hamas's massacre even after they released all of their footage, if you were outraged hearing about Israel bombing a hospital and then stayed silent when you found out it was the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, if you march with people holding signs like these, if you're silent about people ripping papers of kidnapped civilians, or are silent about Gas the Jews, Intifada, and from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? If your answer to all these was no, then great, we're on two sides of the same boat. If you answered yes to any of these, but it made you question it, even a little bit, then I encourage you to rethink which side you choose to believe. But if you answered yes, even to one of these questions, and you're still standing your ground, then don't lie to us, or to yourself. You're not advocating for the safety of innocents, you're advocating for the destruction of the only Jewish country in the world. And if you are, we've had enough experience with you to know how this goes. We've had enough of showing the massacres done to us. We've had enough of saying the words murder, burn, rape, and kidnap. So move aside. We are going to protect our right to exist. Shabbat Shalom.